Throughout history, the interrelationship between politics and spirituality has been crucial for the development of civilizations. However, when politics is stripped of its spiritual component, it becomes an empty tool, incapable of guiding humanity toward a higher purpose. This disconnection often leads to social degeneration and a state of chaos. Civilizations such as Atlantis, mentioned in the texts of Plato, are emblematic examples of profound knowledge that fused politics with spirituality. Atlantis was described as an advanced society where wisdom and ethics guided its leaders. However, according to legends, the civilization fell into moral corruption and degeneration, leading to its eventual destruction. The story of Atlantis reveals how great knowledge and technological advancement are not sufficient to ensure the longevity of a civilization if they are not backed by spiritual and ethical values. Its degeneration was precipitated by arrogance and disdain for spiritual teachings, symbolizing that knowledge without wisdom is dangerously ineffective. From a Gnostic perspective, this journey toward degeneration can be understood as a failure of humanity to spiritually evolve despite achieving a high level of knowledge. Gnosis suggests that human beings possess an intrinsic divine potential, but when this is ignored, there is a risk of falling into the trap of the material and the ephemeral. Ancient civilizations that achieved significant advancements, such as Egypt, Babylon, and notably Hyperborea, also faced this dilemma. Hyperborea, described in esoteric texts, represents a civilization of wisdom and virtue, where its inhabitants lived in harmony with nature and possessed deep spiritual knowledge. However, as their leaders distanced themselves from this spiritual connection, society began to experience a decline in status and morality, possibly leading to its mythical disappearance. Gnostic texts often describe supreme beings that govern the order of the cosmos, but also warn about malevolent entities like the archons that seek to trap souls in a cycle of ignorance and separation from true knowledge. This concept is crucial for understanding the pattern of decline in civilizations. Whenever humanity clings to its ego and distances itself from spirituality, it exposes itself to forces that promote decadence and chaos. The phenomenon of degeneration manifests particularly at times when civilizations reach a certain level of knowledge and power, but fail to integrate those achievements with spiritual evolution. This polarity between material advancement and spiritual stagnation can result in a regression in the humanization of society. Examples of this are the collapse of the Roman Empire, where corruption and moral decay accompanied a great indulgence in knowledge and power, resulting in one of the greatest failures of ancient history. The role of government in this context becomes critical. Without a connection to spiritual principles, political decisions tend to be selfish and disconnected from the overall well-being. Ambition and power are prioritized over justice and equity, which in turn generates social discontent and chaos. The legends of civilizations such as Lemuria and Atlantis offer a narrative about the development and fall of societies that, at one time, understood spirituality. In Gnostic tradition, these civilizations began as spiritual beings who possessed a profound understanding of their connection to the divine and the universe. However, over time, as they gained knowledge of the material world, many deviated from their spiritual essence and began to prioritize the creation of social and economic structures that promoted power and possession over inner peace and wisdom. This deviation ultimately led to their own degeneration and the emergence of chaotic forces that capitalize on human arrogance and selfishness. Understanding these dynamics in ancient civilizations provides valuable lessons for contemporary societies. Integrating spirituality into politics could offer a pathway toward more wise and conscious governance. Leaders who understand that their role is to serve the common good and must answer to a spiritual order are more likely to promote peace and justice. In conclusion, the history of ancient civilizations such as Atlantis, Hyperborea, Egypt, and Babylon, in relation to spiritual knowledge, illustrates an eternal cycle of rise and fall. The need for a balanced approach that combines knowledge and spirituality is fundamental to avoiding the repetition of these destructive patterns today. Only through the reconciliation of these aspects can we aspire to a future where evolutionary knowledge does not lead to chaos, but instead fosters a wiser and more compassionate humanity.